What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel. This is Eric. Yesterday, I did my American League predictions for 2025. Today, I'm going to do my National League predictions. Then, I'm going to go through all the wild cards. Then, I'm going to give a World Series matchup and a World Series champion for 2025. So, let's just jump right into the National League, starting with the National League East. At the bottom, we have no choice. We have to go with the Miami Marlins in last place in the East. Obviously, no surprise there. They got some good youth, but if you look at their lineup, I'll put it on the screen here. Look at this lineup. It looks like straight out of AAA. I mean, there's not a lot of familiar names, even for hardcore fans. The most hardcore MLB fans probably recognize some of these guys, at least, but there's no superstars. There's not really any big up-and-comers. The rotation looks a little bit better. They'll probably trade Alcantara. It's just not a lot of experience here, unfortunately, and I just don't see how they finish higher than last place. In fact, they may finish with a worse record than the White Sox this year. Hate to say it. In fourth, we got to go with the Washington Nationals. Let's go like this. Washington Nationals, a lot more familiar names in their lineup. You got some good offensive threats like Josh Bell, Nathaniel Lowe, Paul DeYoung, but no real mega superstars here. You got some, maybe some up-and-comers who could become that, like James Wood and Dylan Cruz. C.J. Abrams pretty good, but the rotation's got some good young arms. Bullpen's not terrible, but I think they'll be okay. But the top three in this division are just too good. So that's why we got to put the Nationals in fourth place. I think they're getting better. I think maybe next year they can maybe make the playoffs, but I don't see it this year. To the top three now. Everyone's wondering, what about these top three big teams? It's tough, but I'm going to go with the Mets in third place. Mets fans pissed off everywhere. Hey, nothing new in this channel. This is a team with a lot of talent, clearly. They signed Soto. They brought back Alonso. And they got a bunch of other great names in that lineup. Nimmo, Lindor. Obviously, it's a really good team. I'm a little worried about their rotation. That's the only reason I'm putting them in third place. You have Senga's having some mechanical issues. Clay Holmes is going to be a starter now. And not just that, the ace, he's the opening day starter. Manaya is hurt. They got some injury issues. Montas is hurt. Just a few issues with this pitching staff. That's the only reason I think I'm going to put the Mets in third. I like the top two teams a little more, and this is really tough. I decided Braves second place. Braves second place. I like the Phillies a bit more. The Braves are stacked. I'm a little worried. Can Chris Sale do it again? He was hurt. Injury-plagued seasons for like 5 years, and all of a sudden he was just incredible last year. Can he do it again over a full season? He doesn't have to be as good as last year, but I'm just a little worried about that. But even if he can, Strider's hurt. Lopez had some injuries last year. The rest of the rotation, it's young. There's potential. Obviously, they are still a stacked team, but a team that I feel is a little better balanced and a better position to have an amazing season is the Philadelphia Phillies. So I'm going to throw them in first place in the East. The lineup is so experienced. It's elite. Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Alec Boehm, Real Muto, Castellanos. The list goes on. And then the rotation with Wheeler and Lusardo and Nola. They just have a very well-balanced, experienced team. Not super old, like a bunch of 40-year-olds, but not super young either, like the Marlins. Like, you look at the Marlins, like, not to pick on them, but they're so inexperienced. Like, no one in their lineup has more than a couple years experience. So the Phillies are a perfect combination of experience, youth, and they're right there in their prime, and I think they're just ready to have a big season. Moving to the Central, this was actually not an easy decision. I'm putting the Cardinals in last place. It's a historic organization. It's a great team. Lots of big names still. Arenado, Sonny Gray, Mason Wynn, good youngster. But after a decent year last year, they kind of recovered after 2023. They haven't done much to improve. They didn't sign any big free agents. It's like they're in a rebuild, but I don't see enough youth, enough talent to really give them a chance at a winning season. They're going to have huge production from veterans who are so-so, Eric Fetty, Steven Matz, good players, but not great players. I just don't see it all coming together for the Cardinals this year. And a team that I see as better this year is the Pirates. I think they're coming out of the cellar this year. Yes, a big part of that's going to be Paul Skeens. I think he's the front runner to win the Cy Young. Every time he takes the mound, the Pirates are going to have a massive advantage, but they also have a nice mix of veterans and youngsters. They got McCutchen. They got, I know he's not in his prime, but Tommy Pham, McCutchen, Adam Frazier, but then the youngsters, Key Brian Hayes, O'Neal Cruz, Joey Bart. He tore it up in spring training. Is he ready for a big breakout season this year as the starting catcher for the Pirates? I can see it happening. And then just a solid, a good enough pitching aside from Skeens that I think they'll win plenty of games. Not enough to win the division, but enough to not be in last place. And then we go to third. Let's go with the Milwaukee Brewers. We're going to go with the Brew Crew. Very solid club. Jackson Chourio is going to be incredible. Lots of good up-and-comers. Sal Frelick, I really like. Garrett Mitchell, I really like. But they lost a couple of big players. They lost Adames to the Giants. They lost Devin Williams. Still a good team. Still a solid team. I just like these top two a bit more. And in second place, I'm going with the Reds. The Reds have been an exciting team lately. A lot of good young talent, a lot of potential. Ellie De La Cruz, obviously, but McLean, Friedel, Gavin Lux is there now. They got a solid rotation with good arms in there. Hunter Green is filthy. Hunter Green is absolutely filthy. If it wasn't for Skeens, I'd say Green has a chance at the Cy Young, and he does have a chance at the Cy Young. You never know, but I wouldn't put him as the favorite because of Skeens, but I do like the Reds. I think they're going to be really good. I think they're going to get hot at times. I think they'll go on some tough stretches too. So I don't have them winning the division, but I think they're going to be really good. And I got them in second place, but I could not put anyone but the Cubs in first in the Central. They've actually improved. They were already pretty good. I've liked them the last couple of years. I picked them to finish pretty high, and I've typically been on the money with that, even though people think now Cubs stink in the last couple of years. No, they don't. They got a lot of talent, and now they got more. Kyle Tucker, Dansby Swanson, Pete Crow Armstrong, and then the rotation with James Tyon. So that's just the additions. They already got really good young players like Michael Bush, like Matt Shaw, who made the team out of spring training. And then, of course, Justin Steele, Shota Imanaga, and the rest of this crew. Ryan Presley's in the bullpen now. They're just a very, very well-balanced team, and they look ready to win. I got the Cubs winning the Central. But now it's on to the West. And in last place, unfortunately, I have no choice. I have no choice but to go with the Rockies. They just don't have enough pitching, and I don't know if they ever will, to compete over a 162 game season in that division. Kyle Freeland is their ace still. How long has he been their ace? He's okay. I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher, but he should be your number 4, number 5 guy. If he's your ace in the West, you got a problem. And they got some nice youngsters like Zach Veen, who's up and coming. I think he's going to start the year in the minor leagues. Of course, Chris Bryant. Even if Chris Bryant stays healthy and plays like the old Chris Bryant, they're still finishing in last place. So, and then the tough decision for fourth place. And yeah, I'm a Giants fan. I try not to be biased. I waited for spring training to make these predictions. I wanted to see what the Giants looked like. I was going to predict them in fourth, but I really liked what I saw, and I'm about to talk about them. Whereas the Diamondbacks, I have some concerns about their rotation. Not to say I don't have concerns about the Giants' rotation, but some of those concerns I have eased after spring training, whereas the Diamondbacks, very good team, clearly. I have so much. I mean, these top 4 teams are all really good, a lot of talent. Corbin Carroll, I think, is going to have a big bounce-back year. Corbin Burns, the addition of Corbin Burns can't be understated. But aside from Burns and Zach Gallen, the rotation does have some question marks. Can Kelly stay healthy? Brandon Pfaadt's pretty good, but he's a little inconsistent. And the offense was off the charts last year. I don't know if they can repeat that, but it's possible. I don't know, but I'm only saying I think they're going to have a similar record. I think the D-backs and the Giants will be close, but I'm giving the edge to the Giants. Maybe a little bias there, but spring training, I know the games don't count. They had the best record in all of baseball. They were really impressive. What I saw from Robbie Ray, Jordan Hicks, even Verlander looked really good, and Logan Webb is going to be an absolute stud, as he always is. I see a lot of possibilities, but even if this rotation struggles, there's so much depth. There's just so many youngsters who can step in if needed. Hayden Birdsong, Mason Black, Landon Roop, who's going to be the fifth man in the rotation to start the year, Kyle Harrison. So I like the depth in the rotation. I think it will be enough to keep the rotation pumping on all cylinders throughout the season. And then, of course, the lineup with Adames now. Ramos is back. Matt Chapman is back. Jung-Hoo Lee is healthy. And then the bullpen looks pretty solid. We got Ryan Walker is going to be the closer. Camilo Doval is still there. He's filthy. So I just see a lot of potential, and I just saw the way they played together, and I just got a lot of confidence this year that they're going to be better, finishing above 500. I'm not even saying they're going to win the division. I got them in third place, so people are going to call me biased, but I got them in third place, so it's not like I got them winning the division. I know some of these logos are the older logos. Sorry about that. I got the Padres in second place. Just too much talent. They didn't do a ton to improve. I'm not even 100%. I even considered putting the Padres in third. Well, not too much, because you look at that lineup: Arias, Tatis Jr., Bogarts, Cronenworth, this pitching staff: Dylan Cease, Michael King, Yu Darvish will be back. Just too much talent, and some good young pitchers like Randy Vasquez. So I couldn't do it. I said the Padres just got too much talent, but I do think maybe they're trending downwards, and there's rumors that they're going to sell and blow it up. So, but there's just too much talent to put them lower than second. And in first, obviously, is the Los Angeles Dodgers. Just a stacked team. It's a ridiculous lineup: Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Hernandez, Muncy, Will Smith. It's just crazy. Obviously, Glass now. Dustin May is healthy. Blake Snell, who didn't miss spring training, he'll be solid. Sasaki. The list goes on and on. Yamamoto. I can't even think of every name on this team because it's just stacked, and it's just ridiculous. So Dodgers are clearly the favorites to finish in first, and I think they probably will finish in first. And with all that said, those are my standings for the National League. Also, I did my American League yesterday, and I forgot to pick wild cards. I'll do that now. So for the AL, if you missed it, I had the Yankees, Tigers, and Rangers winning the division. And I have, as my wild cards, the Orioles, Red Sox, and Kansas City Royals as my playoff teams. And then for the National League that I just did, we got the Phillies, Cubs, and Dodgers winning the division. I'm going to say the Braves are a wild card team. The Padres are a wild card team. And my third wild card team is the Cincinnati Reds. I think the Giants aren't quite fully ready for a 162-game season, a playoff push. I mean, they'll have a playoff push, but I don't know if they'll make it. I hope I'm totally wrong on that. I'm hoping for an orange October this year, but I'm going to say the Giants fall just short of the playoffs, and the Reds are in. As for the World Series matchup this year, this just I have some fun with, because you never know in baseball what's going to happen. But I'm going to pick a couple teams that I just really like this year and I think could get hot at the right time. And for the American League, I'm going with the Kansas City freaking Royals. The Kansas City Royals shocking the baseball world, going on a tear in October and making it to the World Series. And they'll be facing the Philadelphia Phillies. It's a rematch of the 1980 Fall Classic, the year I was born. And as the 2025 World Series champion, I'm going with the same as that 1980 World Series. It's going to be the Philadelphia Phillies getting it done, winning the World Series in 2025. That's my prediction. I have been right before. I picked the Braves preseason in 2021, but since then, haven't gotten one. So we'll see this year. I think the Phillies have enough talent to make it happen. The Dodgers clearly heavy favorites, but I could just pick the Dodgers every year if we're going to just pick the favorites. So they could easily repeat, but I'm going to say Philadelphia Phillies this year. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in that comment section. And we're here. It's time for Major League Baseball. We'll be here for the post-game show opening day in Cincinnati against those Reds. Let's go Giants. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. And we'll talk to you in the next one.